March 3, 2017. This date marks the launch of the Nintendo Switch console. 6 years later, let's take another look at it. I should mention that from the start that this isn't going to talk about games or anything in specific. After all, this console still has active game releases, but how about we start with the launch environment? Just a little under 4.5 years from their previous home console, and around 6 from their previous handheld console, the Nintendo Switch launched in an environment with lackluster sales on both their previous consoles, with the Wii U being the worst-selling home console Nintendo has ever made, and the Nintendo 3DS being their second worst-selling handheld console. Actually, I mean third worst. Completely forgot that the Virtual Boy was a handheld. The Nintendo Switch aimed to combine these two categories of portable and handheld gaming together, though. It's a hybrid console. This means that you could play on the bus, and then take it back home and play it on your TV as an example. If you watched my video on the Wii U 10 years after its launch, you'll know that the Switch was announced before the Wii U even reached 4 years old. However, it was revolutionary in the industry. At that time, hybrid consoles wasn't really a thing. No company had really made a console designed for handheld gaming, although this has changed a bit in the last 3 years or so, with handheld x86 consoles such as the Ion Neo and Valve Steam Deck, and even other handheld ARM consoles, such as the Logitech G Cloud. With this, as well as its patented detachable controllers, which hasn't really been recreated that well by any other company, the Switch continued with the path of making something different, something unique. Although, these detachable controllers have been highly controversial with hardware faults, known as stick drift, which I think I've experienced like 4 times now. Either way, this has really paid off. Within just a single year of its launch, it had already surpassed the Wii U, standing at 14.86 million sales as of the 31st of December 2017. Taking a look today, and it stands at 122.55 million. This is almost 10 times the amount of sales that the Wii U managed to achieve, and Nintendo surpassed all of its best-selling consoles at this point, excluding the Nintendo DS/DS Lite/DSi line of systems. In fact, the Switch is now the third best-selling console of all time. However, it's not expected to get any higher than that, but who knows. A large chunk of these sales though was helped by major world events, and a certain game releasing around that time, which is the second best-selling game on the Switch. I want to move on to features that I'd love to see on the Switch before it gets replaced likely sometime next year by its successor, but before that, I should probably talk about my own personal experiences with it. I got a Switch in October 2019, 2.5 years after its launch, and I think I got it at a fairly good time, especially for the game I mainly bought this for. Animal Crossing New Horizons was really the main reason why I had bought the Switch. At that point, I had Wild World, Let's Go to the City, an Amiibo Festival, and New Horizons helped me essentially get back into the game, after not playing for a few years. I received New Horizons 9 AM on launch day, and to be completely honest, I probably played it all day. I will admit I did a lot of time traveling initially, and I think I might have regretted it. This also was assisted by the launch state of the game, where you had no events, no Red, no Katrina, nothing. Launch state New Horizons is horrible. I also happened to do a major duplication glitch which was patched in the first update, 1.2, which probably made this worse. New Horizons had a lack of content, and this caused after a few months a disconnect with the game. Anyways, this video certainly isn't about New Horizons, but it couldn't have released at a better time for Nintendo. It launched just 3 days before a major countrywide event in my country, and this event soon expanded to many other countries. It also helped introduce a lot of people to Animal Crossing due to them having boredom because of this event, which I will not name here. In fact, it caused a lot, including Switches to be sold out, which was caused due to a lot of people buying them, as well as supply chain shortages. Either way, let's stop talking about New Horizons. When buying the Switch, I didn't really have anything initially to play, and I spent quite a few hours into some free games, which are probably more than the selection the Wii U has LOL, such as Super Kirby Clash, and Pokémon Quest. I later got games such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Splatoon 2, and I will admit I haven't played as much in these games compared to the Wii U's counterparts, but this held me over whilst waiting for New Horizons. I'm going to finally move on to features I'd love to see come to the Switch before the successor eventually comes out, since the Switch lacks in them. If you watched my Wii U video, you probably briefly heard me talk about the Switch's awful way of tracking playtime, and I think we just need this to be completely revamped. In fact, if any Nintendo developers are watching this, which definitely isn't going to happen, I've even drawn up a very rough concept for this. Take a look. One of the criteria for this definitely has to be having as much features as the 3DS and Wii U applications does. For example, I took the first played, most played, and average playtime statistics from the 3DS's Daily Log app, as well as last played and total time spent from both. I didn't accommodate for it here, but it would also be nice to see how much you've played on a certain day, which both consoles also do. I think we can all admit that the friends system on the Switch sucks. It's slowly gotten better, with stuff such as being able to copy your friend code from the Switch Online app, as well as sending a friend request from it, but the whole friend codes business sucks. I would love to see like a return of the Nintendo Network ID system on Wii U, where you would just send someone your NNID to add them. It would also be pretty cool to add a greeting to people when looking at their profile, which the 3DS and Wii U both does. The main thing I wanted to bring up though is a chatting system. PlayStation Network and Xbox Live both have this feature, and it would just be nice to have the ability to talk to your friends outside of a game. I did draw another mock-up for this, take a look at it. I don't know if everyone knows already, but the Switch actually has an integrated web browser. However, accessing it isn't easy. I would really appreciate if Nintendo literally just added a shortcut to access it, it's really that easy. I assume they don't want to, since the Wii U has exploits that you can run via the web browser. Other consoles such as the PS4 also have this same issue though. Also, I doubt this will ever happen, but I'd love like a way to play your favorite soundtracks from games on your home menu. For instance, games could save extra data on your SD card or internal storage with music tracks so you can play them. Talking about soundtracks, it would also be cool if you're able to set one of these as your home menu theme, would really be nice instead of having this empty silence. About the topic of emptiness, this segues well into my last subject. The Switch has a themes option but it's atrocious, and it should really just be a dark/light mode toggle somewhere. Please Nintendo, either make some themes, it could be as simple as the wallpapers offered on my Nintendo, or, just make this a dark mode toggle. Please. Thank you for taking your time to watch this. Consider liking and sharing to help support the channel. As always, please take care, and happy 6th anniversary to the Switch.